Good morning again. This morning I thought we would start off with a silly call and repeat song called Down by the Bay. And at the end of each verse we make rhymes because you know rhymers are readers. And so this is the way the song goes. I sing a line and then you sing it back to me. Here we go. Down by the bay where the watermelon grow, back to my home I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say, did you ever see a cat wearing cat rhymes with hat? A cat wearing a hat and swinging a baseball bat and sleeping on a mat? Cat, hat, mat, bat, they all rhyme. Those are rhyming words. Down by the bay, where the watermelon grow, back to my home I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say, did you ever see a bear sitting in a chair and combing his hair and wearing polka dotted underwear? You said underwear. Oh my goodness, how silly. Down by the bay, where the watermelon grow, back to my home I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say, did you ever see a fish swimming in a dish and looking at a star and making a wish? Fish, dish, wish. Good job. Down by the bay, where the watermelon grow, back to my home I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say, did you ever see a turtle jumping over a hurdle and wearing a tight girdle? Oh my gosh, you guys are so silly. Down by the bay, where the watermelon grow, back to my home I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say, did you ever see a snake swimming in a lake and going home to bake a birthday cake, but using salt instead of sugar, and that was a big mistake? Oh my gosh, I love those rhyming words. Down by the bay, where the watermelon grow, back to my home I dare not go, for if I do, my mother will say, did you ever have a time when you couldn't make a rhyme or dime? Down by the bay. Yay! You guys did such a good job with that. Thank you for joining me for that song. And now I would like to share a story with you guys about a turtle who couldn't stop talking. This is the story of the turtle who couldn't stop talking. It's also a how and why tale, or a pourquoi tale, about how turtle got his cracked shell. Because legend has it that long ago, turtle had a shell that was smooth and so shiny, why you could use it as a mirror. But if you pick up a turtle shell today, you will see that it has 13 separate scales known as scotes on its back. And so this is the story of how turtle cracked his shell, or the turtle who couldn't stop talking. You see, long ago, there was a turtle who loved to talk. He lived on a pond with a lot of other animals, but the other animals didn't want to have anything to do with him because he was always talking.
Good morning, what a gorgeous day, not a cloud in the sky. What you gonna do today?
But he wouldn't pause for an answer.
I might go for a swim, or I might go for a walk, or I might just sit in the sun and chew on my cud. Oh, what about you? Oh, I bet the water's cold.
The other animals were just tired of hearing Turtle talk, and so they just avoided him. But one day, 2 swans came flying down to the pond, and they heard Turtle talking, and they were amused. They laughed and laughed. They thought Turtle was the silliest thing they had ever seen, and they got to be good friends with Turtle. Well, as it so happened, a drought came to the land, and the other animals on the pond, one by one, left in search of water. Because a drought is when it doesn't rain for a very long time and all the water dries up, the rivers, the streams, the lakes, the puddles. And this puddle was drying up very, very quickly. Finally, there was very little water left in it at all, and just the 2 swans and the 1 turtle remained. And the swans told the turtle, "Turtle, we're gonna have to fly away in search of water or else we'll die." Turtle said,
"No, don't leave me here alone. Oh, I don't want to die by myself. Oh, please, take me with you."
The swans said, "Oh, Turtle, we would take you if we could, but there's no way."
"Yeah, I could climb on your back and you could fly me off."
And Turtle tried to climb on the swan's back, but the feathers were too slippery. He kept sliding off. The swans said, "Turtle, you would be too heavy anyway. We could never fly with you on our back." Well, Turtle then said,
"Hey, I've got an idea. Hey, what if we get a stick like this one? And I'll bite down in the middle of it, and each of you grab one end, and you could fly me away to where there's some water."
Well, that sounded like a pretty good idea, except the swans said, "Turtle, you would never keep your mouth shut to bite down on that stick. As soon as you opened your mouth to talk, you would fall down to your death."
"Oh, I promise I can keep my mouth shut. See, I'll show you how quiet I can be. See, wasn't that good?"
The swan said, "Turtle, no. When you open your mouth, you will fall. You would have to keep it closed." And so Turtle said,
"I promise I'll keep it closed. I promise I won't say a word. Just take me with you."
And so the swans agreed. They each took an end of the stick, and Turtle bit down on the middle, and they started to fly. They lifted off into the air, and they started flying Turtle towards where there might be water. Well, there were villagers nearby, and they looked up and they said, "Wow, look at those swans carrying that turtle through the air. Isn't that amazing?" And Turtle wanted to shout down at them,
"Yeah, I'm a smart turtle."
but he remembered, and he did not open his mouth. They kept flying, and more people were coming out to look at those 2 swans carrying that turtle on the stick. And people started to shout, "Wow, those swans are really smart to come up with such a good idea." Well, finally, Turtle could take it no more. He opened his mouth to say,
It's not the swans. It was my idea. I'm the smart one.
But when he opened his mouth, he let go and he fell down to the ground. And when he did, he cracked his shell into 13 pieces. Well, he lay in the sun, and the sun finally did heal his back. And so now today, when you look at it, there are 13 separate scutes or scales on his back. But this is a fable, and so there is also a moral to this story. And the moral is, pride goeth before a fall. I hope you enjoyed this folktale from India, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Mwah. Bye.